guys. Alright, this is the last part. I wasn't going to address Ron at all because long story short, let's start at the beginning. Ron and Sam. Both very abusive to each other, very toxic, but I always saw Ron as a person who couldn't just be okay and have a normal day. And I thought it was very smart of Sammy to get away from each other, and I think that he destroyed her image. There's two to tango. It's not all on Ron, but had Sammy never dated Ron, she would have been a whole different person on the show. She would have had a whole different experience, and I will leave that one there because I'm over it. Sam and Ron, the whole world is over it. So then, the one he had, Jen, was it Jen, right? The one he had a baby with. Well, that bitch was crazy. You didn't have to know her at all. Just watch her for 3 seconds on the fucking screen, and she screams, "Psycho bitch." I honestly felt bad for Ron at the time because I thought that she was abusing him, and I think that they whooped the fuck out of each other. It was probably she whooped his ass, and then he whooped her ass, and sometimes it was even. They both were the same type of people. They loved to fight, and they couldn't be okay. And they created a baby, and it added more pressure, and I don't think either one of them is less guilty of being an abuser. So I'll leave that one there. There is no right or wrong. They're both disgusting human beings for what they did to each other, and for the failure to this day to, I know Ron went on and apologized, but then move on to the new girl. I don't even remember her name. I called her Barbie, and he abused her too. Ron is the fucking problem. I don't want to hear about alcohol. I am sure before he was ever on Jersey Shore, any girl that he dated was abused. I was hurt when I was 7 years old. I am surrounded by dark men who think very lowly of women. I would have a very fucking hard time not pinning that motherfucker against the wall. But it's not my place to judge or put my pain on Ron. So I check myself, but I see the fucking monster, or at least the potential of a monster in Ron. I would never be comfortable alone with that person, ever. I would never trust him with anybody alone that is female. I think that he is very depressed, and he has some kind of mental health issue, bipolar, manic depression, something. He did a lot of crying, which is okay. I would never talk shit about a man crying, but it was very deep sobs, and it's deep rooted, and it goes to childhood, and he's just projecting everything and putting it in addiction and putting it in relationships. And I haven't seen enough of this new season to be like, okay, well, he's starting to address the real inner childhood that creates the beast. Long story short, there's men in this world that get so fucking betrayed, stabbed in the back, robbed, destroyed by a woman. That woman could throw a punch at them, and the least they would do is like hold their arms. They at no point in their body says, "I'm gonna hit this bitch." The person that hits a woman, that's it. I don't want to hear the why, the who, the what. But I think that same way about women who hit men. Like his first Jen, I would whoop that bitch's ass. Easily. You think you can whoop men around? I did that for a living, bitch. You need to get sat in time out, and so does Ron. Because at no point in what I am feeling in anything that I watch, what little I did watch of new stuff. Even if he didn't go back to being an addict, he's still going to have an abuse problem. Whether it's verbal or physical, he has that nature to put in place and belittle, and I don't fucking respect that. I eat men like that for fucking breakfast. He would never be able to speak to a woman in a belittling way around me at all because he's never been checked by someone who could Hulk smash his ass easily. And every woman that whoops up on men, in the same sense, I would Hulk smash that bitch too. I am not sexist. I don't like abusers. I don't like excuses, and I do not believe that you can change. I have never seen an abuser truly stop abusing. You might stop hitting, but you never stop belittling. It just turns into a different form. Until they address and really psychologically change, they will always be a monster. I have zero respect for Ron. I have zero respect for Jen, the one that he parents a baby with, and I feel bad for their daughter. Not because they treat her horrible or are bad parents, but their parents are incapable of not being narcissistic and abusive to anyone. So you know that they're going to be teaching their daughter wrong coping skills. The hot-headedness runs in her blood, and they aren't going to witness it early enough to correct it and or feel it should be corrected. Oh, she's just like me, how cute. Don't let her grow up like that, because there's something wrong with the both of you. Really wrong. Because I bet you that Jen bitch abuses every man she's with too. Until you address it, until you drill it, and that takes years, you are abusive. You are an abuser. And until Ron owns and openly says that he has abused women and is concerned that he will abuse women in the future, that's honest as fuck. No abuser ever owned that has a penis. When one does, I'll respect that motherfucker. But from a victim who doesn't fucking hit men and didn't ask for it, and also not only physically got abused or mentally abused just for being an overgiver, because that's how I love. I show my love by things, actions. Abusers don't just abuse your body, they abuse your mind. I've dated plenty of Rons. I can spot him 20 paces out. Only I'm a grown-ass, healed shaman, and I take no shit. I would reflect a mirror against Ron's face, and he would run out the room. I will never speak about Ron again because he doesn't deserve to be spoken about. I don't know why he's on the show. From every victim of every abuse, and if he was a woman, I'd say the same. This is not about gender. This is about have some fucking integrity for who should have TV and screen time. I don't care what fucking flowery words with some tears that he says. We all know another fucking pop-up caption on Instagram late at night is bound to happen. And we don't need that blasted all over the world. Point blank period. Just like any athlete that got charged with something shouldn't get to play no more. Ron shouldn't get to play with his friends no more on camera. He would disgust most women who are like me. And you always will, because you still won't own that part of it. You'll own the drinking, you'll own the addiction, but you won't own the abuse. It's always someone else. It's always because of something else. Next.